But before I know, I am here to talk about breast cancer, but before I have to start at the beginning, where it all began. So just like a typical Jamaica child, go to Sunday school, know of the Lord, but I did not know the Lord. So as I get older and woman would have stepped in. I'm originally from St. James, but I migrated to Clarendon. So here in Clarendon, it was hard for me to get a job. So I resorted to the bar. So I was a bartender and then I became a bar owner. So I remember saying to the Lord that, Lord, if you allow me to have my own bar, I can go to church more and I can serve you. But the Lord held his part of the bargain, but I did not hold mine. So I just want to encourage someone tonight that it is better not to vow than to vow and not pay. So the Lord was ready for me to hold my end of the bargain. So in 2019, September, I would have celebrated my 33rd birthday and I was feeling myself. So the Lord would have allowed me to achieve that bar, which is a container. So feel like I was on high, didn't want to go to church, anything, because yes, I was living the life. And the Lord was ready for me to hold that end of my deal. So came the October of that year, 2019. I was getting ready for work one morning, getting ready to go to the bar one morning. And while I was in the bathroom taking a shower, I felt like I wanted to use the toilet. So I was sitting on the toilet and maybe I went down too hard, but my right hand bounced on something on my breast and it felt, and when I felt it, it felt like a little round ball. So I finished do what I was doing, went for my phone, call my son grandmother, who I will refer to as Mama because that is what we call her. So I called her and I said that I felt a lump in my breast, and she said that I should go and get it checked out. Given the fact that my mother would have passed from breast cancer, so breast cancer is in my family. So I got dressed, went to the doctor, and when I went to the doctor, he is telling me that he is feeling more than one lump. So he sent me next door to do an X-ray ultrasound. When I went by to do the X-ray ultrasound, and they rub, that liquid thing that they rub it on my breast and it come up on the monitor. And it was a lady and she said, wow, I am seeing a lot of lump, man. This does not look normal. That was her exact word. It does not look normal. So she said that I should go and do a biopsy. So all of this is happening while I am in sin. And all of this is happening in the year of 2019. So that was the October. So I went and seek out a doctor, and I found a doctor and he gave me an appointment to come and do the biopsy. When I did the biopsy, I got back the result, I think, in November. I'm not sure if it's November or December of the same year. I got back the results. But upon receiving the result, I could feel it in my spirit that it is cancer. Given the fact that there was so much lump, and I want to give a quick backdrop to me finding out the lump. because there are so many times that we having signs and symptoms and we do not take them serious. We do not we like brush them off because we don't think it have anything to do with what we are going through. So maybe a few months before that, I was having a terrible toothache. So I went to my dentist and he extracted the teeth. And maybe 2 weeks after, it come back again. Another teeth was hurting me. So when I went back to him, he was saying to me, is there anyone in your family that have breast cancer? Because sometimes toothache is associated with breast cancer sometimes. And he was encouraging me to go and do a mammogram. But given the fact that I was so young, I was telling him that I don't think it is possible. And another sign that I overlook was whenever it is around that time for my menstrual, my breast would be so tender that I don't walk fast, I don't run, and I have to wear tight fitted clothes because I don't want them to be bouncing because they would be so tender. And the nipple will get a bit flaky. So sometimes I could just have my hand and play like rub off if flakiness of it. That's how flaky it was at times. I did not know that these signs were associated with breast cancer. So when I did the biopsy, I was convinced that it was breast cancer because my mind went back to the signs that I was having before and did not know, because I look healthy, I was feeling healthy, I didn't feel sick or anything other than the toothache and the tenderness of the breast and the flakiness. I did not look sick and I did not feel sick. So you don't have to look sick or feel sick. So when the doctor called me in for the result, and he sat me down and he said, Miss Ritchie, I am sorry, but it is cancer. It wasn't as shocking to me because, as I said before, I have the gut feeling that it was cancer. So I accepted the result and I said, so doc, what next? Where do we go from here? So he was outlining everything to me. He said, first, you're gonna have to do surgery. And he break down everything to me. Surgery, it will cost you 100 and I think it's 120,000 to do the surgery. And I would have to pay 22,000 for the breast, because it was one breast, for the breast to be sent to a lab for it to be tested. And I would have to do a CT scan to find out if the cancer have spread anywhere, and for him to get staging and all of that. I would have to do chemotherapy and radiotherapy. All of this happened while I was in sin. So I was thinking that, listen, man, I'm going to beat this thing and go back to my regular life. I just want to do my surgery and go back. God was, even though me hear say cancer and this thing could be life and death, God was not the forefront. He was still in the background, still calling out for me to pay my debt, but I wasn't listening. My grandmother, she is an evangelist, and she always said, my granddaughter, I am praying for you, because every day I'm out there and I am preaching to people and I am telling them about God, and my own granddaughter is out there and she's not living her life and all of that. So I always say to my grandmother, I say, Mama, I am not lost. God knows where me is. And anytime God ready for me, he will know if he find me. So I guess God was ready for me. So the December now, I was planning, well, I planned to have an event at the bar that it was the 31st of December. So we would eat, drink, and ring in the new year. But God have other things in store. So while at the bar, it is a nice little container with a lot of glass around and everything. So me and my friends, they were outside. I wasn't drinking, but we were eating and laughing and carrying on. And when I step inside the bar and I look at myself in the mirror, I could not recognize the person that was staring back at me. I felt completely lost and I could not understand the feeling and what was happening. So I went back outside and I said to everyone that, listen, I am going to church tonight, and I am going to get baptized. And they were laughing. And I said, what's wrong with me? And I could not explain to them what was happening, but I know that something was happening. So I said to my daughter, because she was there, and I said to my daughter to follow me, go over by the house, because the shop wasn't far from my house. And she followed me. And I went over and I took up some clothes and I said that I'm gonna find a church tonight because I know it is watch night service. And normally on watch night service, they would have baptism. So I'm gonna find a church tonight and I am gonna get saved because I felt lost. This feeling that was over me, I could not explain it. I never felt it before and I couldn't understand. And me telling them about it seems like foolishness. So it didn't make any sense me try to explain myself. So I went back out there. I said, come, lock up your shop, I'm ready to go. And they were saying, you're serious? And me say, yes. They say, all right, since you're serious. And because they must say, me not serious in a joke me make. So they will come with me because they want to see if I was serious about getting baptized. I tell one of my friends, she is on tonight as a support. God bless you. And I know you don't want me to highlight you, but she's on. I tell her and she comes, she journey with me to the church. And when I went by the Maple New Testament Church of God. And I went there and I found the pastor. And I explained to him that I want to get baptized. And he was telling me that come the 20th of January would be their baptism because it was a crusade that was going on. The crusade started from the 31st. So the 20th of January would have been the baptism. And I was explaining to him, say, listen, I cannot wait until the 20th because if I don't get saved tonight, if I don't get baptized tonight, I am going to be a dead woman. The feeling that was on me, I know that if I did not obey or if I did not pay my debt at that time, I wouldn't be here tonight testifying. So the bishop, he didn't plan for it. So he said that he had to talk to, there was a associate pastor there. You would have to talk to him and all of that. So every move me the back of him because I want to hear, I want to know because the fear that was on me is like, it was crazy. It's like me couldn't go in a church and sit down. I was walking up and down, until I saw them filling up the pool. My body feel at ease. It's like my heart come down. So that night, I was the only person that got saved. And you know, once it reached 12 o'clock, then you know, it is the beginning of a new day. So I always say that I got saved on the 1st of January, 2020. So it is a process that God is taking me through. So back in sin, I found out that I have cancer. I have to pay for CT scan for maybe 60-something thousand at the time. The doctor said that I have to pay 120,000 to remove the breast, and I will have to pay additional 22,000 to get the breast sent to a private lab for it to be tested. So I got saved the 1st of January. And I was living with my boyfriend, no husband. So when I got saved, I have to come home to him. Me and him come home together. And I still have the bar. So when I give my testimony in the church that night that I am living with my boyfriend and I operate a bar, it's like the church went complete silent. And I remember this brother when it was all over and I was outside looking at taxi to leave. He ride me down and he said, "Sis, I heard your testimony and I hear the whispering and I saw the look, but don't be discouraged because if God call you, then he will sustain you. And don't worry about it. If you have to go back to your boyfriend and if you have to go back to the bar, God will work it out." So, as I said before, I came back home. Me and him was sleeping in the same bed, but you know it go. Him sleep on one side, I'm sleep on one side. He did not say anything to me about it. He did not say why you get baptized. You shouldn't do it. It was a complete silence. He did not say anything to me, and I did not say anything to him. I went back to the bar maybe for a week. I was going back, but I went back to the bar as a change and a new person. So my surgery date was the 20th of January. And remember that the bishop said the baptism would have been the 20th. And I said that I could not wait until the 20th. So I remember it was coming down to maybe about a week or 2 weeks. And my boyfriend said to me, "No, husband, me realize, say, this thing now go really work with you in a church and all of that and whatever." And he said to me that your surgery is coming up on the 20th. And I am not coming to the hospital to look for a girlfriend. I want to come to look for a wife. And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Because I want you to be my wife. I want you to marry me." We did not have the money. So I said, "Okay, we don't have the money because everything that I have, I was putting it together for my surgery and for everything." So this is how God is working out everything in his time. So he said that we should go to the pastor. So when we call the church and make an appointment, they said that it is 10,000 to get us married. And we didn't have the money for the ring, so we went up by Maypen to a jewelry store. And we were looking at ring. And I saw this lovely ring. It is white gold, and I love this ring so much. But when I saw the price on it, it says, I think it says 100,000. I say, my God, my heart dropped because I fell in love with the ring and I wanted the ring, but we didn't have the money because remember me have my surgery coming up and all of that, and the treatment and all that got expensive. And I asked the ladies, let me try on the ring. I try on the ring, earring fit perfectly. I take a picture with the ring, earring just nice and everything. People of God, me just want to just listen to how God work and how God put everything in place. This is not me doing, this is just God doing. And when you obey God and when you let go and let God, then he will work out everything for you. So I have on the ring and everything. The other part for my husband, it fit him perfectly. And I was so in love with the ring. And as I said to the lady, I love it in about pity, me can't afford it. I not have 100,000. And she said, 100,000? At 10,000. I said, 10,000? Because it's like my high blinded by one extra zero. So I realize say at 10,000, not 100,000. And I said, then ring sale for 10,000. And quickly we take it, buy what we have buy, and we go. The same evening, we go to the bishop and two witness, and we got married. That was the 16th day of January. So I got saved the 1st of January and got married the 16th of January. And my surgery was coming up the 20th of January. So the same evening, it was a Thursday evening when we got married. And the same evening when we got married, the bishop invited us out back to the crusade because there was a crusade going on. So he invited us out back for the crusade. So the evening we went out back for the crusade, there was a preacher by the name of Thompson. I'm not sure of his first name, but he's a very tall preacher. Those in the chat from Maple New Testament will know who I'm talking about. I think he is now at a church in Portmore. And he was the preacher preaching that night. And that man preached a storm. And I don't know what was happening. It was like, now I know what was happening. The Holy Spirit moved on me that night in a way that I know from then that I was healed. And remember, it was my honeymoon night. Coming home, the anointing that was on me. Me cry from church all the way. When me come home, I think say, all right, husband and wife, we haven't touched each other for our 16 days now. And we'll be excited because our honeymoon, none of that could happen. The Holy Spirit was just moving. My grandmother was here at the time, and it's like, me don't know what happened to my body. Me couldn't explain it. And me went to her room and me say, Mama, make it stop, make it stop. Mama said, me make it stop. Me can't make it stop. You are being sanctified. That is the Holy Spirit washing you, pruning you and all of that. And it was an experience that up to today I cannot explain. And the 20 now, that would have been the Sunday when the bishop, no, the 19 would have been the Sunday, and the 20 would have been the Monday, which is my surgery date. And I was supposed to go in from the Sunday because it go when you're going to do a surgery, you have to go in before for them to prep and to see if you're all right for surgery. I did not go in until late in the evening, but all of this is just God working. I did not go in until late in the evening. And when I went in, they were saying that you should have been here from this time or that time because the anesthesia doctor was here and whatever. All of the jargons, I don't even remember all of them right now. But when God is in it, there is no limit. So the Monday morning, I was supposed to do the surgery. Say, for instance, I was supposed to do the surgery by 9 o'clock. Because I wasn't there on Sunday on time, my surgery got pushed back till around 1 o'clock. So when my surgery got pushed back, there was an outage in the Denby area because there was a big accident that happened down by Yorktown area. It was all over the news. Maybe you guys won't remember, but I will not forget. So there was a big accident that happened and caused a power outage. So there was no electricity in the Denby area. So the hospital was running on standby. And I remember I have downloaded the Bible app on my phone, and a notification came in on the app that says, wait on God. God timing is best. And I said, God, this is a confirmation. So after 12 now, I saw a guy coming from the theater with a stretcher. And I said to my husband that now I get the confirmation it is time for me to do the surgery. And the guy is coming, he's coming from me. And my husband said, you know, sir, you ma come from. I said, yes, I may ma come from. So when he came in, I said to him, here am I. And he walked past me. And he go to the nurse, and the nurse called my name. And I said to him, remember me tell you, say, me I come from? Because I know, because I got the confirmation from God. When I went in to do the surgery, I said to the surgeon, I want both breasts to be removed. And he's saying, are you sure? You're so young, you're only 33, why would you want to remove both your breasts? And I said, that is the confirmation I get from the Lord. I want both breasts to be removed. And he asked me so many times if I was sure, and I said yes. And he said, okay. I went in, did the surgery. After the surgery, the first thing I did, I went like this. And when I realized that both of them were gone, I lift my hands and I say, thank you, Jesus. I was in and out of it because, you know, I have the anesthesia. Went back to the room. My husband was there because they allow him to stay, given the fact that I was in surgery for so long. Even though visiting hours is up, they allow him to see me for a period of time. So the Tuesday morning, the doctor came when they were running ward. He came pretty early because I did not pay him as yet. I was supposed to pay him now for the surgery, because even though he did it at the Maypen Hospital, I was still supposed to pay him because of the agreement that we have. So when he came in the morning, he said that, Miss Ritchie, the surgery is completely free, because the doctors, the first surgeon that was supposed to do the surgery, he was not available because I missed that slot. So it is done on the hospital expense. So it's like the hospital doctors do it. So it's no longer private. It is public. So my surgery was free. And I was there saying, all right, my husband will come to bring the money for the breast to be sent to a lab privately. When the doctor called down by the theater room, they said that they don't see the specimen, which is the breast. So they call up by the lab, they're saying that the specimen is not there. So when they call around and check, it was confirmed that the specimen have been sent off to the government lab in Kingston. It being sent off to the government lab in Kingston mark urgency, meaning that it will not take months, but I will get it back quickly. It being sent off to the government lab mean that I did not have to pay. And I was saying, my God, from having to pay 120,000 to do a surgery, which would have been one breast, and I asked for both of them to remove. So maybe the money would have doubled to 240,000, and both breasts removed for 20,000. That would have doubled again to another 40,000, and I don't have to pay none of that money. Listen, you see, when God is in this story, so I did not pay $1. I leave the hospital the following day. And when I leave that hospital, God was telling me that he was going to do a new thing, but I did not understand, because as I said before, I was a young Christian. I know of God, but I did not know God. So I leave the hospital and I went to Maypen, and I used all that money that I have saved up to do my surgery, and I buy a brand new bed, a brand new mattress, I buy a complete bedroom set, because God said he might do something new. And given the fact that I just did my surgery, I have a double bed, and a double bed will not be comfortable for me after just doing a surgery. So I buy a brand new bed, brand new mattress, more pillows for me to comfortable because I have to put my hands up for support and all of that. I did all of that with that money that I was supposed to pay to do the surgery. I used all of that money and I buy a brand new bedroom set, everything. And God did not stop there. When I went back to the doctor, for them to send me to Hope Institute for me to do my chemotherapy. Because if I was supposed to go into Mandeville or anywhere else, like up by the university hospital, then listen, God have aligned so many destiny helper in this story. It is mind-blowing. Because he have placed some persons in my life. I remember being in the hospital and he sent some friends, some support system. Some friends just show up. They take care of me. They take me to the bathroom. They give me a bath. Whenever in the morning, I remember this particular friend. I will never forget that she will come to the security post and she will bring my fruits and my water and my juice and she will push it through because it's not visiting hours. She's on her way to work, but she will just come and she will provide. And God has provided so many destiny helpers along my way. And when I was supposed to do the CT scan, and I went back to the hospital. God bless you, Dr. Jefferson. And I went back. That man take on to me so much. And he said that, Miss Ritchie, don't worry yourself. I'm going to write you up for a compassionate farm. And I did a CT scan absolutely free. Remember when I was in sin, I paid for the CT scan for 60 something thousand. And back then in sin in 2019, now I am in 2020. And all of this that I am telling you about, it's absolutely free. I do the CT scan. I was sent to the Hope Institute and they said that I have to do 18 rounds of chemotherapy. I do not know the cost for chemotherapy in Jamaica because I didn't have to pay for it. And I would have to do 30 days of radiotherapy. All of that, I don't know the cost for them because I didn't have to pay. God paid all for me. So I did the CT scan, take the result up by the Hope Institute, and they look at it. And the doctor was saying to me that, Miss Ritchie, this is not a good prognosis because the cancer is stage 3 and it is very aggressive. And yeah, she's telling me a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff she's telling me, but I block it out mentally. It's like she's talking to me and she's just talking to a brick wall because me not hear nothing what she said. Because me I say the God when me see her work from January 1st to now, and now you want to tell me say me block it out completely. And God have blessed me with a good husband. He have been my rock, my support system, my daughter who was my nurse. He have blessed me with some friends. My God, a lot of person did not know what I was going through. Given the fact that I just got saved and I got saved the first, and by the 20th, I did my surgery and I was home resting from my surgery. March of that year, came COVID. So, a complete lockdown. So when I went to the Hope Institute, they advised me to stay out of public spaces because if I catch COVID and my immune system is so weak, then it can be very dire for me. So they advised me strongly. And whosoever is going out. So when my husband was the only one going out for work. So when he's coming, you have to strip outside, have to spray him up and all of that. So a lot of persons in my community, a lot of persons at church, they did not know me and they did not know what I was going through. So it's like I was fighting this by myself. But thanks be to God, I have some friends and some family who knew and who was a strong support. Even though they wasn't here physically, they were sending the texts, calling, encouraging, and in every way possible they could help, they would help. So yes, I did have the support in that way, because that is a big part of it, having a strong support system. So I remember going back and forth into Kingston, doing my chemotherapy back and forth. And this morning, it was in September, I remember. I was doing my devotion, and I was at my bedside on a mat, and I was crying, and I was saying to God, God, I am tired of feeling sick and tired. I am tired of these drugs. I am tired of them poking me every week, because every Tuesday I will have to go by the Mapen Hospital for them to draw my blood. Went back for the result, and every Friday I would have to journey into Augustown. I did not have a drive, so I would have to take public transportation, or I would have to charter a car or something. That is my mode of transportation. So I was tired, and I said, Lord, look at my hands. There's nothing left on my hand. There's no place left on my hand for them to juke me. I am tired of it. And it's like a voice said to me, you are going every Tuesday for them to draw blood, and every Friday for them to give you the medication. You trust me enough to take you to those places back and forth safely. Why don't you trust me to take you to church back and forth safely? And it was a Tuesday morning, and I remember that they have fasting out by Maple New Testament on a Tuesday morning. And I said, Lord, I am going. I am going. And I got up, and I get dressed, and I put on my mask. I did not have any hair. My head was bald as day. I put on a lot of stuff on my head, and I put on a cap, and like it was all the way down here, and me cover up. So even if someone remember me from January when I got saved and share my testimony, I am sure walking into that church, they wouldn't recognize me then. And I remember sitting down in the second bench to the front. There wasn't a lot of person in church, because the restriction, you can't allow to have over a certain amount of person in church. And it was the bishop that I knew before that I got baptized and he married me. He wasn't longer at the church. It was a new bishop, Bishop James Small. He have taken over, and I did not know him, and he did not know me. So that particular Tuesday, it was a visiting evangelist that he have come in. His name is Fitz Jackson. Came coming to minister the word. And this man, he walked past me, and like he catch a reverse, and he come back to where I was, and he called one of the deaconess, and he said, bring the olive oil. And when she brought the olive oil, he asked me to open my hand, and he poured some in my hand, and he said, I cannot touch you, but you touch yourself. You know where the problem is. You know where you are, where you want the healing, and what you want from God. And lift your faith and believe God for your healing. I have on a blue blouse that day. I still have that blue blouse. The olive oil mess it up. And I use my hand, and I push it under my blouse, and I rub both. I rub the breast that was affected first. I rub it, and I rub the other one, and I lift my hands, and I worship, and I believe God that I was healed. When the service was over now, Bishop came inside to to finish off service. That was the first time I was actually meeting him. And he said that someone is here for the healing. Someone is here for the miracle. Just lift your faith and believe God and you're healed. And I went home feeling healed and believing God that I was healed. So it was the Tuesday. I went, did the blood, take it up by Hope the same Friday. When I went up by Hope, I was so excited because I was saying, I may just well want this thing to be over and done because I have little more treatment leave. I mean, I said, me just want them just hurry up and give me this one here. And when they give me this one here, I go have like X amount. Remember, you know, me just lift my faith in the church Tuesday and believe God for my healing. And me gone now, I say me well want the treatment them for hurry up and done. See, sometimes when time God, we pray and we say, God, see problem here, fix it. And we leave it at God. We leave it at God's feet. We see one going and say, God, it take too long. Or God, give me back the problem, man. So we go back and we take back the problem from God. And now we give it to God and say, God, fix it. I just received my healing in church. And when me go up there, me not say, God, make a lady tell me, say, she not give me no treatment done. Make she tell me, say, one home. No, me I say me want she hurry up and give me the treatment because me want the treatment hurry up and finish. Me just want me round, me 16 round just hurry up and done. So when me go into her, she said, Miss Ritchie, I am not going to give you any treatment today. I'm gonna send you to Maypen. I'm gonna send you to do a CT scan. Me vex like bull come here and say, God, you want just want it hurry up and done because me know say if you give me this money, I have 3 or 4 more left. And she said, okay, I'm going to send her back to me, send her to do a CT scan. And don't worry, it is free. Another CT scan, free. I went down by Erin and I did the CT scan absolutely free again. Take it up back the following Friday. And I was saying to my husband on my way up, say, why they not give me no treatment last week? And one day more give me treatment this week for make Europe and done because if you find money if you come up and say every week and you come and you don't get no treatment. And then if me go again this week and then I give me no treatment, a two week money that me waste to come up here and I get no treatment, I saw me a quarrel I said to me husband. And when me bring in the result to the oncologist and the oncologist read the result, the oncologist said, Miss Ritchie, your scans are absolutely clean, as if you did not have any cancer. We are not seeing anything on this scan. You are cancer-free. And the lady is telling me all of this, and it's like, sinking. Me no get what she has said. She has said, you are healed, you are cancer-free. All of this happened from the Tuesday when I lift my faith and believe God. But in the back of my head, it's like my mind won't allow me to accept or to hear what the lady was saying. And she said, Miss Ritchie, are you hearing what I'm saying? We are going to send you back to Maypen and they're going to have you on surveillance for 5 years. So anything you stay at Maypen. She write up everything and she give it to me. And even when we went outside and we said to my husband, it's like the words could not utter out my mouth. It did not sink in as yet until I read out. I look back on the paper and I read it out and I say, Dionne, sister, me not get
All right, wonderful kings and queens. Seem as if we had a little connectivity issue there with